It's showtime in Hollywood. Yes, your Chicago Blackhawks are on the air for the second night in a row, this time facing off against the young and upcoming LA Kings. And it's going to be a weird look because your Chicago Blackhawks are on the road wearing home reds. So I had to dust off a old pro player away jersey for this game. So what's up, Hawkthorne? Hey Tyler, how are you doing? It's game time in LA as your Chicago Blackhawks get ready to face off the LA Kings and those chrome dome helmets. Those are such ugly helmets. No team should ever wear chrome helmets, in my opinion. Hey T Money, how are you doing? Getting ready to watch some Chicago Blackhawk hockey. Victor Arvidsson appears to be reinserting himself into the lineup for the LA Kings, and the Hawks are coming in off of a nice victory over the Anaheim Ducks last night. Doing good. I'm doing all right. I had just got home from work about 20 minutes ago, so I'm finally home, and now we can go live for some Chicago Blackhawk hockey. I have to admit, it is weird seeing the home jerseys as a road jersey for a night. Let's see it. It's not bad. Nice logo. Let me get my banner. Get this ready for the score. Oof, that is too big of a scroll, so let me change that up real quick. That's better. It's Cub theme? Okay. Thanks, Hawkthorne. I ended up picking up the Blackhawks Foundation's hat on CBH shop. Okay, I would say they are ugly if you have it on the Boston Bruins colorway, where it's the black and yellow in. Otherwise, I think the black jersey itself doesn't look that bad for the Maple Leafs, oddly enough. Even though that is not their color. Black is not a Maple Leaf color. I do plan on staying live all night for this Hawks game. Well, not all night, just until the Hawks game is over. Last night, I know the review was uploaded a little bit late, but it makes sense to. I was trying to just get it up and loaded to you guys. Hey, Drew, how are you? Yeah, that jersey did look good with all together. The blue and black accents together worked well for Maple Leafs last night, but it's not their colors. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack, is Flower in net for the Wild? Yeah, I've noticed that this year. A lot of the jerseys this year have not been nice looking, in my opinion. I wouldn't do a reverse jersey, in my opinion. I don't think it will. I don't think it works. Yeah, I hope we get a little bit of a winning streak going tonight. We won last night in a nice fashion. Let's hope we get more wins rolling. Hawkthorne, it's not that way. It should be if he wins 4 playoff games and the Wild make it to the conference final. That's a tough task to do, but I could see the Wild making it to the conference final, and I honestly would put Fleury in net for a playoff run over Cam Talbot. I'm shocked they haven't played Fleury yet for the Wild. Yeah, I hate ESPN Plus. It's going to be on ESPN Plus again on Saturday, isn't it? I think Marc-Andre Fleury will start getting more net time in for the Wild. Trust me. I don't think he gets benched. I think that could be a thing. They are just trying to ease Flower into net. Okay, it's on ABC, so stupid camera angles. Okay. Hopefully, we don't get stupid camera angles tonight in this game, but it's an ESPN broadcast. It's going to have stupid camera angles. I think they also stream it through ESPN Plus as well as the ABC stream. I'm going to give you guys the memo tonight since I'm doing this live stream and this game's likely to end after midnight anyways. I'm not going to have a review for tonight's action just because it's going to be a long game. It's already a late night game, so I don't want us to have to deal with a schedule like where I'm posting a review like I ended up doing last night at one. It ended up going up at like 1:45. Yeah, for the outdoor games, I guess they are okay for having some extra camera angles, but the ones in the arenas and they're behind the net, high up, they don't work for me. I agree. ESPN's paneling has not been good at all. I have not enjoyed it. Oh, that was not ESPN game yesterday, Hawkthorne. That was a TNT game, and TNT, yeah, I completely agree. They do. It was a disgrace how they were. No, I did not, Too Money. I've been so busy with school and stuff. I have not been able to really watch YouTube as of late. Just get my videos posted and uploaded. That's the only thing I've been really able to do. I'm sorry. Better camera angle. Colin Delia in net for your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm not liking that. Jonathan Quick for the LA Kings and the Chrome Domes. And Colin Delia for your Chicago Blackhawks. game's on its way, and the Kings get control. McCabe gets over to Caleb Jones. Hawks wearing their home reds on the road today, and the Kings wearing their chrome helmets with their Chevy style logo from the Gretzky era jersey. So, interesting matchup. Caleb Jones sets up in the center ice, dumping it into the offensive zone for the Hawks. The Kings now set up and go over. Kings now go on a little bit of an attack, but the Hawks keep them pressured to the boards in the Hawks offensive zone. Delia with red pads and the red jersey works perfectly, but I'm scared how he is in net because the times he's been in net for the Hawks this season have not been stellar at all. So Steph Jones with the puck in the defensive zone, sending the puck up the ice over to Alex DeBrincat, getting checked at center ice over to Jones. Jones gets it up to Strome. Strome leaves it for DeHaan. DeHaan dumping it in, and Borkstrom out there. Kubalik is out of the lineup today for Hendrik Borkstrom. Yeah, I would say TNT. I think TNT's actually has a good broadcasters for play-by-play and stuff. Their issue is their panel. I'm not a big fan on the panel they have had. Delia with a nice save off of the face-off for the Kings. The Kings now having to go back down to their defensive zone. That might be icing, and it is. What do you guys think of the LA Kings and the modernized 90s Gretzky era jerseys? I'm not a big fan on it. Strome wins the faceoff back, and the Hawks set up in the defensive zone. Hendrik Borkstrom getting checked off the puck over to Caleb Jones, over to Steph Jones, setting up behind Colin Delia. Steph sending for change, and the Hawks are now out there. It's Jones dumping it down the ice, and Jonathan Quick has to play it. Taylor Raddysh lays a hit, and Tays dumping it around over for Jonathan Quick to play the puck. Hawks are battling in the ozone, and now the Kings come up with it is Victor Arvidsson. That was Edler gets it up, and the Kings send in. Nice pulp check by Caleb Jones, and the Hawks now go on the attack. It's Reese Johnson over to Riley Stillman. Stillman dumping it in. Reese Johnson on the races, and the Kings play the puck out. It's now Kachuk dumping it up the ice, and the Kings gain control in center ice. Over into the defensive zone is LA. LA dumping it up the ice, and they're going on to the attack. Turcotte with the shot and a save by Delia. Delia in his hometown, basically, as he's from Rancho Cucamonga, California. And the Hawks are battling in the D zone. Lazon has the puck. Lazon getting checked by Stillman, and the Hawks get it out, but the Kings still with control in the ozone. The Kings behind the net, over, and the save by Delia. And Whistle loses control, and the Kings keep battling. It's Oli Mata, the former Blackhawks, sending it across the ice, and the Kings keep it going. Mata fires, and a nice block by Reese Johnson. Kachuk sends it up, and the Hawks are setting up. It's Eric Gustafson. Gustafson gets it to Stillman. Stillman dumping it up the ice. Saved by Delia. How about NHL once you? I do not want. I would. Not, I was not wanting Fox to get the broadcasting rights. Why did this game go to an Oiler game? It's a highlight. TNT panel is great minus ace. Sometimes a bit of ace. Are you talking about Anson Carter? Yeah, the gold helmets by Vegas are terrible. Hopefully, we don't see that this Saturday. Radish has been a good pickup. I agree. That chemistry with Strom and DeBrincat has really helped. The Kings now set up again in the Hawks defensive zone. The Kings set up for a cycle and a good pulp check by DeHaan behind Colin Delia. Hawks are trying to get it out, and it's Kirby Doc with the puck, who did attempt the Michigan last night. Steph Jones now with it, dumping it into the offensive zone. Sam Lafferty lays a check in the offensive zone for the Hawks. The Hawks now try to set up, but the Kings Turcotte with the puck. Kings now have it. The Kings now set up is Oli Mata. Mata looking for a breakout and set up the Kings. The Kings now go on a chase for the Hawks. The Hawks clearly are the team who's played last night in this game. Kind of tired looking in this game. That puck goes out up into the back of the netting, and the Hawks now keep the pressure having to play defense. Kopitar sets up a follow, and the Kings now trying to get it in. Iafallo plays it over to Kempe. Kempe looking for Kopitar. Kopitar driving, and Kane blocks a pass from Kopitar. And the Kings set up, and Kopitar gets into the slot, and the Hawks get it. It's Kane going up to DeBrincat. DeBrincat trying to get on a breakaway. Cat going in, and he gets checked and hooked and everything by the Kings, and there was no call. LA now regains control. Strom dumping it into the offensive zone, and it leads to Hawks having to play more defense. Nice save by Delia. Yeah, you need sunglasses to look at that jersey, that helmet. I like Anson Carter. He's knowledgeable about the sport. I don't like Bizanet. I never have. I don't like spit and chicklets, and I just don't care for Biz. Steph Jones gets it over to Taylor Radish. Radish going in up through center ice, dumping it into the Hawks offensive zone. Taylor Radish trying to check in, and the Hawks now are on a board battle with the Kings. Taze and Radish try to come out with the puck, and it is Radish coming up, but the Kings now get it. It's Deneau, the former Blackhawk, and the Hawks have to play some defense. It's Calvin DeHaan, 13:52 remaining in the first period. Shots on net 1-5 in favor for the LA Kings. The Kings now set up and try for another attack. It's Arvidsson setting the Kings up, and the Kings go up the ice, dumping it down, and the Hawks having to skate. Gustafson can't get to the puck, and the Kings keep it to the boards. Kane's trying to battle for it. Stillman comes out with it. Stillman trying to play off the boards and behind Delia, and the Hawks are really battling for that puck in that defensive zone. Patrick Kane loses control on the boards. Kings really pressing the Hawks to the boards. It's DeBrincat coming up with it, loses control. Cat gets it up the ice. Kane now with it. Kane in the offensive zone. Kane looking, tried to leave it for Strom, and the Kings come the opposite way. The Kings now on the attack again. Hawks have not been able to get down into that offensive zone. About 8 minutes have played in this period. Patrick Kane at center ice leaves it for a change, and it's Riley Stillman in the defensive zone dumping it down, and that's going to be an icing. Keith Jones is hilarious. It's nice to see him being. Yeah, I like Keith Jones. I've always thought he was good for it. Smart move benching Kubalik tonight. He's been thinking. I wouldn't say he's been thinking. I just think he's a snake bit. I think it's just you. I'm not buffering at all. Kachuk loses control and Kopitar comes out with it. McCabe now with it, dumping it down the ice. And the Hawks now trying to keep some offensive pressure, which they have not had at all this game. 8 minutes have played. Caleb Jones getting battled by Iafallo, and the Hawks nearly turned it over. It's Caleb Jones getting it over for Reese Johnson, and it's now in whistle. Going back to Johnson. Johnson going in. Over to McCabe. Fires! And it goes wide. And the puck is loose behind the net, and the Kings come out with it. The Kings dumping it up the ice, and it's Steph Jones with the puck in the defensive zone, settling things down for your Chicago Blackhawks. 11:47 remaining in the first period. Shots on net, 5-1. Khrushchev trying to get to that puck, and it's Kirby Dach with a poke check for Lafferty. Over to Jones, and it was blocked. Jones at the blue line, setting up the Hawks. Jones getting it over to Khrushchev. Khrushchev tried to feed Jones at the slot, but the Kings steal it. The Kings now go on the attack, and the Hawks, Riley Stillman lays a hit at center ice. Kirby Dach gets it into the offensive zone, but he's going to be penalized for slashing. The Kings now go extra attacker for a delayed penalty. LA now on the attack, going into the Hawks defensive zone. LA gets it in, and we're going to the penalty kill. It's been a while since I've seen an LA game, so I'm not used to their roster players. So Kirby Dach getting the box, and the Hawks have to kill a penalty. I'm not putting PK. Yeah, I've just never enjoyed chiclets. Not my type of podcast. Even though, yeah, it's supposed to be hockey, but I really am not big on Barstool. It's currently on commercial, but the Hawks are going to the penalty kill. It should be interesting to see how they go on this PK. They were pretty strong at it last night for the two that they faced against the Anaheim Ducks. So I want to see what the Hawks can do tonight, because maybe this PK, if they can kill it, get some momentum off the PK and go on the attack that way. That'll be nice to see. Showing Patrick Kane on the screen after scoring his 20th goal last night of the season. Jonathan Toews at the dot for the PK. The LA Kings win it. It was a Philip Deneau who's playing power play time for the Kings. Okay. Jones out there. Jones can't make a block. I hate when the camera is behind the net setting up for a PK. Hawks really battling, and a block by Jones. Kings keep the pressure on. Jones is trying to get Deneau out of the face of Delia, and a nice blocker save by Delia. LA keeps the pressure on, and Jones dumps it out of the zone, and LA has it going. LA in their defensive zone sets up their PK and their power play, or what might have happened? I caught a whistle on something. So Hawks in the offensive zone. It's Reese Johnson at the faceoff dot, winning it for Kachuk. Hawks now can kill some time. It's Calvin DeHaan at center ice, dumping it down the ice. Kachuk going in, and the Kings now go on the attack. Kachuk, Reese Johnson, Calvin DeHaan, and Riley Stillman out for your Chicago Blackhawks. Kempe sets up the Kings. It's Danault. Danault gets it to Iafallo. Iafallo looking in for Philip Danault. Danault gets it over to Kempe. Kempe gets it on for Kopitar across the ice, and Kopitar with a shot and a save by Delia. 52 seconds remaining on the Hawks penalty kill. I am not a fan of those chrome helmets. I'm not a fan of just, I think the chrome helmets just don't work in hockey. They really don't work in sports. You really don't see chrome helmets, though. Taves wins the faceoff back from McCabe. McCabe gets it to Jones, who dumps it down the ice, and the Hawks kill about 15 seconds on this power play for the Kings. It's 40 seconds remaining. Kings now go on the attack in center ice. Kings dumping it up. They're in on the blue line, looking for opening. LA's Victor Arvidsson getting in. Kings now go in, looking, and a nice block by Entwistle. Entwistle keeping the Kings to the board. LA going in, trying to make a shot, and a block by Steph Jones. LA keeping to board play. Hawks keeping them pressed, and a good glove save by Colin Delia with 7 seconds left on the penalty kill. It appears Delia has a new mask and looks interesting. Yeah, the chrome Vegas one is ridiculous. I can't agree there. That mask is horrendous. Does Delia still have his minion on the back of his mask? I couldn't tell. Jonathan Toews at the dot, and LA wins the faceoff. Hawks now come up with who's trying to get Sam Lafferty down the ice, and the Hawks have killed the penalty so Kirby Doc is now out on the ice. LA keeping the press on. Solely Mata dumping it down the ice. This could be a revenge game for Mata, as the Hawks traded him after he was pretty good for us in the 2020 playoffs. Hawks keep to their heels. It's shots 8-1 in favor for the LA Kings with 8:30 remaining in the first period. LA keeping it on, and a nice block up front by Steph Jones. LA keeps the pressure going, though, cutting in, and a nice save by Delia. Hawks are really just on their heels this period and have not had any form of chance out of the zone. It's offensive zone time is 4 minutes to 1 minute 18 in favor for the LA Kings. That is bad. Olimata with the puck and keeping the attack going for the LA Kings. LA is now in the neutral zone as Iafallo gets it to Kempe. Kempe going in, getting checked by DeHaan, but Kempe gets control. Going in, sets up Kopitar, and the Hawks blocked it, and that goes out of play. Jesus Christ, this has not been a good period to watch if you're really wanting to watch some Chicago Blackhawk hockey. It's going to commercial. Shots on net are 10-1 in favor for the Kings with, I believe, about 7 minutes remaining. About 8 minutes remaining in the first period. God, I hate these late games. I hate when we have to play over in the Pacific time zone. It's always a late night. Hawks do lead in one category in this game so far. 9-0 in the hits category. That shows how much we are in our peak, are in our own zone, which is not good. Here's one tip though. Colin Delia does have a goalie goal this year. It came in Rockford. This is technically a hometown game for Colin Delia. Maybe this type of game is one that he would love to win. Chocucamonga, California. Appears Delia's dad's in the. There's the Delia family. They're showing on the broadcast, and a nice block by Kirby Doc, and the puck goes all the way down to the Hawks' offensive zone. LA, though, does have control. Hawks can't get any puck possession. LA just has kept the Hawks just down into the Hawks' D zone. This has been a rough game to watch. You could tell the Hawks played just last night, and the Kings did not play. Sam Lafferty with the puck and loses control. What's new about that with this team tonight? Nothing, because that's how it is. Caleb Jones with the puck now behind Colin Delia. Jones waiting for an outlet on the Hawks. Jones now with it. Caleb gets it to Jonathan Toews. Toews at center ice gets tripped, and no call is going to be coming for it. Toews with that center ice tried to dump it down. Toews regains it at the line. Toews in neutral zone gets it over to DeHaan. DeHaan looking for an outlet to Steph Jones. Steph Jones with the puck at center ice, dumping it down the ice. And the Kings continue to play the trap on the Chicago Blackhawks. Shots on net, 9-1 in favor for the LA Kings with 6:18 remaining in the period. Borgstrom dumping around the ice, and the Hawks still don't have any pressure. Kings keep the Hawks down, and the Kings now go on the attack in a nice sliding save by Delia. LA with the puck. It's Anze Kopitar feeding Olimata. Kopitar at center ice, now neutral zone. He tries to get it back for Olimata at center ice, dumping it down the ice. Jake McCabe with it. Gets checked off the puck for the Kings to continue the press. It's Olimata with the shot and a save by Delia. That's the Kings' 10th shot of the night. It's 5 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the period. It's not looked good for your Chicago Blackhawks. Where did everyone go? Like, where did everyone go? I'm just posting a link so people can come. Yeah. This is not real momentum. It's LA just playing the trap at neutral zone, and the Hawks just cannot get through. And Whistle getting checked in. Reese Johnson breaking through, and a shot by Johnson just throws it on net. But anything can work. It's now Kachuk with it getting checked, and LA tries to get it out. Hawks trying to battle for that puck, and LA now with it, dumping it down the ice. It's now Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones sends it over to Calvin DeHaan. DeHaan loses control, and DeHaan gets a shot block, which is not new for him. He leads the NHL in shot blocks. Nice hit by Reese Johnson. Hawks now try to go out for the attack, and hit by Whistle up in front of his bench. The Kings with the shot, and a block by Riley Stillman. Stillman tries to get it out, and that goes out of play. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. Yeah, the momentum the Kings have is a full-blown trap game. Not really a style play the Hawks can tend to work with. I hate the 2 o'clock starts for the Hawks that they've been having quite a bit lately. Hawks now with his Jake McCabe. McCabe in the defensive zone, dumping it down the ice. LA now with his Oli Mata, the former Hawk. Lafferty battling Mata, and the Kings gain control. Hawks can't get it, and the Kings dump it down the ice. It's Arvidsson feeds it for Dano, whose shots went wide, and the Hawks now with it. It's Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach in the offensive zone now with it, deking through, trying to get through, and shoots it behind the net, and Arvidsson now comes out with it for the Kings. Kings now with it, setting up and going for the attack. Oli Mata now with it. Sends the puck down, and the Hawks at center ice as Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat going into the offensive zone. Feeds it for Kane. Kane leaves it for Stillman, who shoots it wide. Now Kane with it. Kane gets it up to Gustafson. Gustafson for DeBrincat, who the puck gets played out of the zone as Kopitar's stick gets in the way. Shots on net, 10-2 in favor for the LA Kings with 3:48 remaining in the first period. The Hawks are just not crisp in this game. I get it. They played last night, but holy cow, this has not been a crisp game for them. Dylan Strome loses the faceoff to Kopitar, and Iafallo now with it. Iafallo gets it to Kopitar. Kopitar going and beating Stillman to the backboards, and now Stillman with it. Riley Stillman gets it over to Alex DeBrincat, getting it into the offensive zone. Cat getting checked, but the Hawks lose control where LA now goes on the attack. It's Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome loses it, gets it to Kane. Kane gets it over to Gustafson, leaves it for DeBrincat with the shot, and it goes wide, and Patrick Kane with the goal. That's the Hawks lead 1-0 over the LA Kings as Kaner beats Jonathan Quick off the backboard rebound, giving the Hawks a 1-0 lead over the LA Kings. That was a good attack by the Hawks there. Just DeBrincat shoots it wide, goes off the backboard, and Kane gets the rebound for his 21st on the season, giving the Hawks a 1-0 lead with 3:16 remaining in the first period. Patrick Kane gets on the board. That is what the Hawks have needed to do. Just try and throw something towards the front of the net, and it worked out. Hawks now on the attack. It's Borkstrom in the offensive zone. Hawks now with this, Jonathan Toews. Toews getting checked by the Kings, and the Kings now come out with it. Kings go on the attack. Going down the ice is Byfield. No, that's not Byfield. I'm sorry. That was Byfield. Hawks now with his Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones sends the puck down the ice, and the Kings, Philip Deneau with it. Deneau gets it over for the Kings to go on the attack. Hawks are battling on their heels. It's Jonathan Toews. Toews gets it out for Jake McCabe. McCabe cutting through, and the Hawks going down the ice. Borkstrom lays a hit down, and the Kings come out with it. LA sends it down to neutral ice, where McCabe now settles things down for a change. It's a Kane line coming out. Dylan Strome with it. Dylan Strome in the offensive zone with the puck, wrapping it around the ice for Alex DeBrincat, getting checked by Byfield. Byfield just throws DeBrincat's head into the boards. Like, come on. Shots on net is 10-4, and DeBrincat is clearly angry at Byfield. I don't blame him. Kings keep the press on. Kings Byfield loses control to Stillman. Stillman dumping it down the ice. That's probably going to be enough for a change. It's shots 10-4 in favor for LA. Sam Lafferty with the puck, trying to get it up to Kirby Dach. Dach in the offensive zone, cutting through. Dach getting checked, and on the back end boards of the Kings defensive zone, Dach and Kershaw battling for that puck. It's still tight to the boards, and Kershaw comes out with it, gets it up to Steph Jones. Jones loses an edge, and LA's now on the 2-on-1 break. LA going in as Iafallo shoots it, and a save by Delia. Hawks now come out with it, going down the ice, and the Kings keep the puck on. It's shots 11-4 in favor for LA. 45 seconds remaining in the first period, and that is an icing. So just went to it almost broke out because DeBrincat was clearly ticked off at Byfield, just holding him down to the ice. Iafallo almost had a goal, but Delia read it well. Hawks lose control as Anze Kopitar going in and dumping it down the ice. It's now Iafallo. Iafallo cutting through, getting checked by Caleb Jones, and the Hawks now with it. DeBrincat lose control, and Kempe comes out with it. Over to Kopitar, and a save by Delia. 25 seconds remaining in the first period, and a battle up front of the net is McCabe with Iafallo in there. So we're starting to see a chippy game between two teams who haven't played each other in almost 3 years. The last time the Hawks played the Kings, I do believe, was during 2019 calendar year, in the 2019-2020 season. I could be mistaken. I just can't remember exactly. It's been a while since the Hawks have played LA. This has become a chippy game. "25 seconds remaining in the first period. 1-0 Chicago Blackhawks over LA. Shots on net, though, 12-2 in favor for the Kings. A lot more Hawk fans in the building than King fans are. Taze at the dot loses the faceoff, which is not normal Taze. Taze with Lafferty. Taze goes over for Lafferty. Lafferty doesn't get in control, and the Kings now take it. It's a 3-on-2 for the Kings, but Lafferty gets back in time, and the Hawks now go on. It's Lafferty at center ice taking it in. 6-5. Fires by Jonathan Taze with 3 seconds remaining, and it's the end of the period. 1-0 Chicago Blackhawks as a scrum breaks out again. And then there's classic Jonathan Quick in his hot head trying to get involved. Because we remember the deal. Delia's looking down at Quick. Delia wants one. All right, we go to the first intermission with a 1-0 lead. And well, that was a rough period, if you ask me. The Hawks may have the lead, but they look bad in that period. I'll be right back, guys. I'm grabbing a quick drink of water. I'll be here in one quick moment. All right, I'm back. See, not that long of being gone. That if I would say that was probably the worst first period of play by the Hawks in a while. Yes, they scored in it and did not allow the Kings to score, but the Hawks had zero press on the LA Kings in that period. The Kings had all momentum, keeping the Hawks contained to the Hawks' defensive zone. It was a rough period of play. It appears the ESPN broadcast is going to interview Patrick Kane here, so I'm going to have to mute myself when that happens because I have to see what ESPN asked Patrick Kane, knowing what Will Arnett last night did with being very blunt and stupid with his question on Patrick Kane last night. Batteries and the remote's almost dead, so I have to do the classic rub the batteries, get some juice going on. I have not replaced I just don't have the batteries right now to replace them with, so classic rub the battery move. I expect LA to come out very angry next period. They were starting to show frustration. Hawks clearly are not on their game tonight. So watch out for LA to keep the press going and holding the Hawks into the Hawks defensive zone. I think this might be Colin Delia's first time ever getting a chance to play in his hometown. Not 100% sure. Hillary Knight on the panel. I do like it. She's a great hockey player. LA has really handed that period to the Hawks. The Hawks had to work their D zone. I do expect though Hawks maybe draw a penalty in the next period. Somehow the faceoff percentage is 50-50, which I don't believe. I think LA actually won more draws. Hits, though, Hawks had laid a lot of hits that period. It was 17-11 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. Which that there is insane. That was a great play to lead to that Patrick Kane goal. So I'm getting ready to mute myself. All right, it's now the Kane interview. I will mute myself real. All right, I'm back. At least that interview didn't go cringy. God, TNT, you really made me lose some respect. Do you know what happened to Seabrook? Seabrook's actually retired Hawkthorne. He retired last year. Hawks, though, had to trade his contract rights, and they traded them to Tampa Bay. And no, if Tampa won do you remember what happened to his legacy night? Yeah, I do. I was actually supposed to have gone to that game. I went to the game though. That was the game against Vancouver where the Hawks had zero effort in it. But what happened though was he couldn't travel across the border because he wanted to have his family to come be at the legacy night for him. So they decided to postpone it. I do expect him to have his legacy night next season. It makes more sense to do his legacy night than the 10th anniversary of the 2013 Chicago Blackhawks. That would be a cool way to do his legacy night during that season. And I expect the same thing with Marian Hossa. His legacy night may have been postponed till next season as well. because Hosa was supposed to have had a legacy night, even though hang the 81 in the rafters of the United Center. Please. I don't know how they haven't done that yet. It's ridiculous. I am going to go to the Pat Foley night for his final game as the Blackhawks play-by-play man, which sucks to say that Pat's retiring this year. I will go to that game because I want to be at the United Center for Pat Foley's retirement ceremony. That's a man who should have a I think should get something honored in the rafters of the United Center. Pat Foley has been with the organization for so long. He deserves at least some recognition in the United Center forever. Maybe change the booth name to the Pat Foley booth. That makes sense. Oh, I will wear my Pat Foley 333 jersey. Don't worry. I have that already set and ready to go for that game. This sucks to know this is Pat Foley's final games are pretty close to happening. I will make sure to record that game because I want to hear Pat's final call. God. This game has been an interesting one to watch. Just knowing how bad the Hawks were in the first period of play, but they managed to get the first goal. When do you think the rebuild will be done? That is a tough question to answer, Hawkthorne. Oh, Howden got injured and stretchered off for the Golden Knights. That's scary. I really hope he's okay. Our next game will be an interesting one. I will have to say that. It's a 2 o'clock start, likely to end around 5 our time? Yeah, Hawkthorne. I hope the rebuild isn't that long. I hope it's maybe, if it has to be, do a 3-year rebuild, because the Rangers pretty much did their full rebuild in just 3 years. And it's worked out for them. Keep Jonathan Toews happy. Keep Patrick Kane happy. Keep Alex DeBrincat happy. And give us the chance to keep them aboard for the next run of the Chicago Blackhawks. Great hockey, please. Give us the chance to keep them aboard for the next run of Chicago Blackhawks. Great hockey. It's interesting Minnesota still has not yet played Marc-Andre Fleury. Dang, that goal from Eriksson to win it. We're getting ready to get into the second period of play. Watch out for LA to come out even angrier because we had a rough period and the Hawks were just on their heels in the defensive zone. We got the goal to pass them. Oh, wow. The Golden Knights are officially 3 points out of a playoff spot with 16 games remaining. That's insane to see. I'm saying it right now. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to miss the Stanley Cup playoffs. Because they should get 2 points today. But that team is so injured and they're in cap hell. It's caught up to them. And they're going to miss the playoffs. If the Golden Knights miss the playoffs, I'm calling it right now. Peter DeBoer gets fired by the Golden Knights. If Vegas misses the playoffs, DeBoer gets fired. And I think I could see their GM get fired. Probably after the season's all said and done, I'm probably going to do a video on who should become the next Chicago Blackhawk head coach. Because I still don't think Derek King's going to remain with the Hawks next season. Has he done an okay job? Yeah, I would say so. But I just don't think he's going to be the head coach for this rebuild. But who knows? Anything can happen. And we're back in Staples Center for second period of play of your Chicago Blackhawks. It is weird seeing the red uniform on road games. Do you think Fleury will retire in the offseason? Maybe if the Wild win the Stanley Cup. But I expect him to sign a contract somewhere. Maybe have a chance to sign a contract, be the backup, go back to Pittsburgh, retire, go home and play for the Penguins one last run and retire a Penguin. It makes more sense for him to go back to Pittsburgh. I don't see him going back to Vegas ever. LA with the puck sending the puck down the ice and the Hawks having to play more defense. Kirby Dach checking Quinton Byfield. Byfield coming out with the puck, getting it up and leaving it for the Kings to keep the press on. Hawks still in their defensive zone. It's 1-0 Hawks with 30 seconds of play. It's gone. Yeah, he doesn't. His family is currently in Chicago because he came. Just because he got traded to the Hawks, he moved his family to Chicago. I still think he has his house in Pittsburgh. So, and I'm pretty sure he does at least. Who knows? It just makes more sense for a player of Marc-Andre Fleury's caliber. Give him a shot to go back to the team who he won 3 Stanley Cups with and had a lot of his success with. Go back to where it all began and try and retire with that team. LA at center ice with the puck, keeping the press on. In 1 minute, a play has gone by, and the Hawks are now with it. It's Patrick Kane going into the neutral zone. Kopitar plays it back to Mata. Mata gets it across the ice. Kopitar at center ice getting the Kings in. It's Iafallo cutting in. And a save by Delia. It's now Steph Jones getting checked off the puck over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat tried to get it to Patrick Kane. That's going on to the stick of Jonathan Quick. Quick sends the puck up for Iafallo to go in. No, that's it. That's Kempe. Kempe gets it over. And a save by Delia. Patrick Kane now with it. Goes over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat in offensive zone. Going for Kane. Kane fires and a save by Quick. Kings now with the puck and going into the offensive zone setting is Kempe. Kempe loses control and the Hawks now with it. It's now the Kings stealing it at neutral ice. And a bad play by Gustafson, and that led to Arvidsson cutting through and Delia having to make a save. The block by Kane. Kane on a breakaway, getting hooked. Kane getting hooked, leaves up, and the Kings gain control, and the Hawks go to the power play. Hey, Jamison, how are you? Troy Stetcher to the box. Shots on net. 15-7 in favor for the Kings. 1-0 Chicago Blackhawks. As we go to the power play, I expect to see Patrick Kane, Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat, and Taylor Radish to hop out there. So Doc loses the control, and the Kings go on a breakaway, and that's going to lead to a shorthanded goal. You gotta be kidding me. Right as soon as the Hawks come out to a penalty onto a power play, they give it up and give a freaking breakaway goal to the LA Kings on a shorthanded one. You are terrible at this, Doc. That one's on Kirby Doc. He couldn't battle for the puck. And Eric Gustafson sucks. Gustafson was out there. Gustafson should not ever be out on the ice. Trevor Moore with the goal to tie the game up shorthanded, and the Hawks now put out the number 1 power play unit. Thank you, Derek King, you idiot. It's going to lead to all sorts of momentum to the Kings. It's now Kane with the puck going over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat setting up over for Steph Jones to Kane. Kane goes over to Cat. Cat leaves her for Radish. Radish sets up and loses control for the Kings to dump it down the ice. It's now Colin Delia playing the puck for Steph Jones. Jones now taking it into the neutral zone over to Strome. Leaves it back for Kane. Kane taking it up. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Gets it across the ice for Radish. Radish gets it to DeBrincat. And now it's Philip Deneau with the puck. Sends it over. And the Kings just dump it right out. It's 55 seconds remaining on the power play. This has been a terrible power play by your Chicago Blackhawks because Derek King is an idiot for setting up the power play the way they did. It's now Kurashev over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat going to Kurashev, and the Hawks lose control. Eric Gustafson, who cost us to give Trevor Moore a breakaway. Gustafson out there again. Gustafson leaves her for Taze. Taze taking it up. Taze in the offensive zone for Borgstrom. Borgstrom shoots it off the head of Jonathan Quick, and it goes for the Kings to go on the attack again. 15 seconds remaining on the power play. That's going to kill it because Eric Gustafsson's an idiot. I'm sorry, I hate Gustafsson. Gustafsson dumps the puck down the ice, and the Hawks now are in the offensive zone battling for that puck, and LA regains control. LA kills the power play with 0 shots on the power play due to the fact the Hawks come out on that PK. Yeah, I'm calling it because they ruined a power play. They didn't even attempt a power play. They just let LA go on a full-blown breakaway and score on their own power play. They can't send him down now because he'll have to be put on waivers, and he would be claimed off waivers. Caleb Jones with the puck. Gets tripped. Where's the call? McKenzie Entwistle gets it to Kachuk. Kachuk gets it over to Entwistle. Entwistle now with it, dumping around for Riley Stillman. Back to Entwistle. Entwistle loses control, and the Kings come out with it. The Kings send it up the ice and taking it up the rush again. The Kings now get set up and shoots it, and a save by Delia. Hawks dumping it down was Reese Johnson, and that's going to probably be icing. No, it's not. DeBrinket's out there for the Hawks. So shots on net, 16-7 in favor for the Kings. Hawks have yet to shoot the puck this period again because they don't know what to do with the freaking puck on their sticks. They may have a goal, but that was off a board play by the Hawks in the first period. Now they are on their heels again in this period because the LA Kings have killed the Hawks. And Strome tried to send Kane for a breakaway, but that doesn't happen. And it goes to a whistle and probably commercial. That was a terrible play off a face-off by the Hawks. Like, how do you not set up there? Gustafsson screwed up not playing on the blue line. He should never be out on the ice, in my opinion. He's the worst flipping defenseman in the NHL. He hasn't, though. That's like the first mistake I've seen Doc have in probably 3 months of play. Doc's had a lot more confidence in recent months. Like last night, you could tell he had confidence. He tried to pull off a Michigan last night. And when you try to attempt the Michigan, you're playing with confidence. That play was just all messed up. The Kings just went on it, and the Hawks just suck at playing tonight. This is the worst game I've watched the Hawks have and in about 2 weeks, because there's usually always a bad game every 2 weeks with this team, and every other game it's usually a lot closer. So this is classic Blackhawks hockey. I guess tonight's the bad game for for the 2-week spread. Trevor Moore with the goal off the short-handed one. Like, how do you screw up that bad off your own face-off in a power play to start it off? That is terrible. The effort by the Hawks tonight has been horrendous. Colin Delia with the puck, shooting it down, and it's Khrushchev trying to get it out of the zone. It's now Kirby Dach at center ice, hitting. Oh! What the heck was that? That was a late hit, and someone just threw. Byfield just threw Dach's head down to the ice just now. 13:33 remaining in the second period, and the Hawks are angry now. LA is going to the PK. Hawks are going back to the power play. Maybe this time on the power play, do something. Okay, I would say that was more of a cleaner hit than it is, but that's uh I would say bad call by the refs there, but the Hawks are going to the power play. Doesn't mean anything if you can't do anything like you did last time. Hawks win the faceoff, and it goes all the way back down to the Hawks defensive zone. It's Steph Jones with the puck, setting up behind Colin Delia. Jones still going up the ice. And it's past center ice, goes back for DeBrincat. DeBrincat taking it in. DeBrincat going over to Kane. Kane doesn't get control now, gets it over to Strome. Strome can't control it, and it goes all the way back down to the Hawks defensive zone. 30 seconds have gone by on this power play. Steph Jones with the puck. Jones taking it in, taking it over to Taylor Radish. Radish leaves it for Strome. Strome goes over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat sets up for Kane on the blue line. Kane looking over for Jones. Jones for DeBrincat. DeBrincat over to Kane. Kane looking across the ice to find an opening. Kane goes over for Strome to Radish, and a save by Quick, and the puck is loose, and the Hawks don't get to it. 1 minute remaining on the power play. DeBrincat gets it over to Kane. Kane sets it up. Kane going in over for DeBrincat. Cat gets it for Radish, and he can't bury it. Now the Kings try to go back for a shorthanded attempt, and the Hawks play it is Colin Delia with 45 seconds remaining on the power play. Kane with it. Kane taking it in. Kane taking the puck up the ice over to center ice. Now into the offensive zone for Jonathan Toews. Toews cutting through around Jonathan Quick. Toews now has it, shoots it, and it goes wide. Borgstrom comes up with it, leaves it back down for no one to get to it because Eric Gustafsson's always in the wrong position. Eric Gustafsson with the puck. Gustafsson gets it to Toews. Toews taking it over for Borgstrom. Borgstrom loses control to Kopitar. Kopitar tried to shoot it, but Khrushchev gains control over to Toews. Toews looking for an opening. Toews sets up, goes over for Gustafsson, for Khrushchev to Dach, and he shoots it high. Now it's Khrushchev. Khrushchev getting checked off the puck. Dach coming out with it. Khrushchev gets it over to Toews. Toews tries to get it down to Dach. Dach now with it. The power play is over, though. Gustafsson plays it around for Toews behind the net, and the Hawks don't come out with it. Dach with it on the blue line. Shoots it down. Dach gets it to Toews. Toews over to Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones leaves it for Khrushchev. Khrushchev can't get it back to Jones. Now Khrushchev tries to play it off the backhand, and now Caleb Jones has to play the puck all the way in his defensive zone. Shots on net, 17-8 in favor for the Kings. Nice hit by Reese Johnson, and Quentin Byfield taking the puck in, and the Hawks keep the puck in, and Byfield dumps it all the way down to the Hawks defensive zone. Jake McCabe comes out with it. McCabe gets it over to Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones dumping the puck down the ice, and it's Mackenzie and Whistle beaconing the Reese, and Reese Johnson almost buried it. Jack, this game has been pretty much all LA Kings. Hey, Zach, how are you? This game has been an interesting one. It seems like the Hawks are now awake after giving up that that freaking shorthanded goal. Strom with the puck, gets it over, fires, and goes wide by a shot from Gustafson. It's now DeBrincat in the offensive zone setting up. DeBrincat gets it behind for Strom. Strom fires, and DeBrincat with the shot, and it goes off already out. Now Kane with it. Kane at the red line, and it goes all the way down to Colin Delia to play the puck. Delia settles things down for the Hawks. With 10 minutes remaining in the second period, Steph Jones has it. Steph Jones sends the puck up the ice for Kane. Kane doesn't have a handle on it, and the Kings, Kempe now with it. Kempe taking it in and deking past DeBrincat. Kempe now in the Hawks defensive zone, and a check by Riley Stillman. Kopitar comes out with it. Kopitar in the Hawks defensive zone. Kopitar sends it over for Iafallo. Iafallo loses an edge, and now it's Riley Stillman. Stillman over to Kopitar. Kopitar for DeBrincat. DeBrincat taking the puck up and dumping it over for Kane. Kane going in. Kane looking. Kane on the backhand. Goes in! And he gets checked off the puck. That should have been a penalty, and there wasn't a call. Gustafson with it over to Kurashev. Kurashev goes over for Lafferty. Lafferty leaves it for Doc. Doc shoots it in a save by Quick. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I had to say something. This has been an interesting game. I have to say that. Radish has looked fine. The Hawks really haven't looked good at all this game, Zach. So it's no one's really looked good this game for the Hawks. The LA Kings have really had all control of play. So, Hawks at the faceoff dot that led to a shorthanded goal against. It's now Philip Deneau versus Philip Kurashev. A battle of the Phillips, and the better Philip wins. And the Kings, though, gain control and dump it down. Caleb Jones with the puck loses an edge, loses it on the boards to Moore. Moore and Jones are battling for that puck, and Trevor Moore gains control. Jake McCabe with it. McCabe gets it over to Sam Lafferty, over to Kurashev. Lafferty now in the offensive zone, cutting in. Leaves it for Caleb Jones with the shot, and the Hawks in the slot, and Doc almost had a chance to bat it down. It's now the Kings battling for that possession. Kings now set up. The Kings send it up the ice as Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore going in to center ice, dumping it down. Jonathan Toews comes up with it over for Taylor Radish. Radish cutting in. Radish in the offensive zone with a lot of speed. Going in. Leaves it. And it couldn't break in. Now the Kings now can go on the attack. It's Hendrik Borgstrom, though, keeping the Hawks in the offensive zone. Radish battling on the boards. And Taze comes out for Borgstrom. And Borgstrom can't bury. It's now the Hawks in center ice with Steph Jones in the puck. Over to Taze. Taze leaves it for Jones. Jones takes it up for Borgstrom. Borgstrom getting checked and keeping it in play. Setting up. Goes over for Steph Jones. Down for Strom. Strom loses control and the Kings set up. Hawks now with his Dylan Strom behind the goal line of the Hawks. Now where it's Patrick Kane. Kane setting up. Kane in the offensive zone for the Hawks with DeBrincat and Strom. Strom behind Jonathan Quick. Looking for DeBrincat. And he scores! Alex DeBrincat with the beautiful setup by Dylan Strom. Giving the Hawks the 1-goal lead back. It's 2-1 Chicago Blackhawks. What a play by Stromer to Cat. Strom behind the net where Gretzky made his own house out of it. Sets up to DeBrincat and the Cat buries it past Jonathan Quick, giving your Hawks a 2-1 lead over the LA Kings. It's 7:19 remaining in the second period. Hawks just took the lead right back, and it's a good game again. Hawks almost had another chance, and that could have been Kachuk's first goal as a Hawk. Doesn't happen, though. And a save by Delia, and the Kings almost tied it right back up. Delia lost his mask, and we have to take a small break. 7 minutes remaining in the period. I agree. Re-sign Strom. It will be stupid if they don't, if you ask me. All right, here we go again. Hawks in the defensive zone. LA still has the shot advantage. It's 19-13 in favor for the Kings. Jonathan Toews at the dot versus Danault, and Toews wins the faceoff. Danault now has it. Kings set up in a shoulder save by Delia. Kings now still in the offensive zone, looking for a cut in, and it goes high and wide. Hawks now with his McCabe. McCabe clears it, and Taylor Radish putting on some speed to try to get to that puck. The Kings keep it down and beat a icing. Kings set up behind Delia, and the Hawks now can go back and send it down the ice. The Kings now set up and going is Philip Danault. Danault at center ice for the Kings. Danault going in. Danault looking, and the Kings lose control. Hendrik Borgstrom comes out with it and sends McKenzie and Whistle dumping it into the offensive zone. Troy Stetcher, who was a steal by LA, Kempe with a shot and a save by Delia. And Whistle dumping it down. Yeah, I would say Troy Stetcher was a steal of a trade in the deadline for the Kings, and that will be played offside. What a play by Strom to Cat. They just re-showed the Cat goal. Again, guys, I'm giving you the memo. There will not be a review for tonight's action just because I'm doing this live stream. It's a late night game again. I did post a review from last night's game, and it ended up going up around 1:45 in the morning. So if you understand why I'm deciding not to post a review for this game, it's because I'm doing my live stream tonight. If Lakes and Delia play well throughout the rest of the season do you think that's going to be the goalie tandem for next year? I do not think it's going to be the goalie tandem for next year because, well, I think Delia doesn't remain with the Hawks after this year. And I don't know what happens with Lakeinen. I think they try and keep Lynx, but he's also a free agent, so he can go anywhere that he would wish he goes to. So it's not like the Hawks have a goalie set for next year. Arvid Soderblom maybe is ready to be the backup next year. I think what happens, the Hawks look for a veteran goalie and free agency and sign them and have it where the veteran goalie can be a mentor to Soderblom or Lakeinen. I get it. We tried that this year with Fleury, and Fleury and Lakeinen was the tandem for a while until we traded Fleury Monday. So I don't know what our goalie tandem could be next season. Doc with the puck over for Steph Jones. Jones dumping it in. Hawks now in the offensive zone. It's Jonathan Quick playing the puck. Quick playing it up the ice, and the Hawks keep it on the board. Sam Lafferty battling for the puck. Kurashev comes out with it. Kurashev gets it over to Riley Stillman, who wraps it around the ice, and it goes over to Eric Gustafson. Gustafson plays it down to the backboards, and Kurashev loses control. Kirby Dach can't get to it. It's now Stillman on the race for that puck, and Stillman beats it and gains control. Stillman in the defensive zone, sending it up the ice over to Sam Lafferty. Lafferty on the blue line. It's offside. It is so weird seeing the red jersey in a road game because that's not our road jersey. It's our home jersey. That means the Hawks had to pack both the home and away jerseys for the trip. Dang. That's a lot of jerseys. All right, the Kings, Troy Stetcher now with it. Stetcher dumping it down the ice. It's now Steph Jones coming up with the puck, and that was an icing. No, that was not Stetcher. I'm sorry. I I see where you're coming from, Zach. I don't think Fleury's coming back to the Hawks. I would love to see Flower come back to the Hawks, but I frankly don't see it happening. Kopitar shoots it and is saved by Delia. Shots on net 21-13 in favor for the Kings in the Staples Center. It's 2-1 Chicago Blackhawks. All right, here we go again. Jonathan Toews at the dot versus Philip Deneau. I didn't realize Deneau's wearing an A there. Then again, LA has a lot of injuries to main roster players who would wear letters. Okay. Taves wins the faceoff. The Kings now lose control. Hawks now in the defensive zone. Borgstrom with it for McCabe setting up behind Delia. And the Hawks dump it down the ice with Taylor Radish, and that's going to be an icing. Yeah, I see what you mean, Zach. I could see him retire, but I frankly don't think he's coming back to Chicago. They just showed Jack Eichel score a goal. Jonathan Toews loses the faceoff to Philip Deneau. Kings set up. Deneau, it's Arvidsson with the shot, and Taylor Radish comes out with it. Radish dumping it into the neutral zone, and Borgstrom trying to beat Deneau for that puck. Deneau comes out with it and dumping it into the Hawks' offensive zone. Kings, Trevor Moore with it, who did score the goal. Trevor Moore for the Kings setting up, and the Kings really are looking to go in. Moore again with the puck, setting up Stetcher with the save by Delia, and the puck came loose, and the Hawks get it up to the blue line. The Kings keep the press on, and the Hawks still are on their heels. Shots on net, 25-13 in favor for the Kings. Jonathan Toews now has the puck and just can skate it up to the center ice and get a change. So, too many men call for the Hawks, so nice job there, Derek King. Classic penalty by the Hawks here because Derek King loves to throw too many men out on the ice. So Hawks to the penalty kill. Classic. Ugh. Way too many men. Here we go again. Back to the PK for the Hawks. The Hawks did kill the last one, so maybe they can do it again. Knock on wood for that. I do not remember that, Zach. Are you kidding me? Sam Lafferty loses the faceoff, and the Kings set up on the blue line. Over to the Kings looking. The Kings on the power play from the blue line looking for a shot. And it's Kopitar with the shot, and Philip Deneau has tied it on the power play. You gotta be kidding me. Hawks with a bad faceoff leads to a PK give up this time. They've allowed a power play goal, and now they have allowed a shorthanded goal and a power play goal to the LA Kings. Philip Deneau throws it in through the 5-hole on Delia up front of the net off a rebound. Oh, it's a 2-2 game. Deneau with the goal. 3:10 remaining. Delia gets the puck, and the Kings keep the Hawks on their heels. This has been a frustrating game. Kings looking to try and get their first lead of the night. It's shots on net, 27-13. Are you serious? You only have 13 shots on net. Kings setting up on the blue line. Kopitar looking. It's looking for another opening. And a good block up front of the net by Caleb Jones. 2:25 remaining. Riley Stillman with the puck. Hawks can't get out. It's Sam Lafferty. Lafferty sends it up to center ice. It's Taylor Radish. Radish trying to dump it in. And the Hawks are stuck in the neutral zone. Steph Jones getting battled against by Trevor Moore. Hawks now with it. It's Taylor Radish. Radish cutting in. Radish in the offensive zone. Leaves it. Getting checked. And it's looking for a board battle with Lafferty. Radish comes out with it. Radish looking down to Lafferty up front, and he scores! Lafferty at the doorstep gives the Hawks the lead right back. What a play by Taylor Radish to Sam Lafferty. Radish has had a point in the last 3 games with the Chicago Blackhawks. Radish with a great pass down to Lafferty up front of the net, and Lafferty deked the pads right off of Jonathan Quick. It's 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks. .151 remaining in the second period. 3-2 Blackhawks. Kings now with the puck again. They send Kopitar. Kopitar goes over for Kempe. Kempe gets it over to Iafallo. Iafallo going in. Fires, and a save by Delia. Kirby Dach at the dot versus Anze Kopitar. Come on, Kirby. Kirby loses the faceoff, and LA sets up again. Kirby Dach gets the puck behind Colin Delia, taking the puck up and to the neutral zone. Dach now in the offensive zone, trying to deke himself all the way up to Jonathan Quick, and the Kings gain control, and a shot from the center ice from the Hawks. It's shots 29-14 in favor for the LA Kings, but it's a 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks lead. Alex DeBrincat cutting in over for Kane. Kane looking. Kane sets up over for Strome. Strome goes across the ice, and the Kings regain control. It's Iafallo. Iafallo at center ice goes to Stetcher. Kempe now with it. 50 seconds remaining. Iafallo with the shot, and a save by Delia. Oh, that was Stetcher with the shot. I'm sorry. I think this might actually be the first time I've watched the LA Kings this season, because the Hawks have not played the Kings at all this year. I think this might be the first time I've watched the Kings this season. All right, face off in the Hawks offensive zone. It's Jonathan Toews versus Philip Deneau. Oh, no, that was Quentin Byfield. I'm sorry. Kings set up. And a save by Delia. It came out of his glove, but the Hawks get it out of the zone. Kings again go on the attack. It's 30 seconds remaining in the period. Kings going up with the puck, taking it in, and avoid a check, but Toews now with it. Toews taking that up. 20 seconds remaining. 2-on-1. Toews over to Lafferty, and he shoots, and it gets saved by Jonathan Quick. Shots on net, 31-14 in favor for the LA Kings. 15 seconds remaining in the second period. 3-2 Hawks lead. All right, here we go again. Dylan Strome at the faceoff versus Philip Deneau. Strome's had a rough night at the dot tonight. but Strome wins the faceoff. Strome gets over to Jones, over for Kane. Kane shoots it in, a save by Quick. Now the Kings regain control. Hawks with it. Strome. Strome looking in. Strome for Kane. Kane getting checked off the puck. 2 seconds remaining, and that's the end of the second period. It's 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks after 2. But Kings still out-chance and outshoot the Hawks in this game. But first, I'm going to be right back. I really need water. I'm out of water right now. So I will be back in, give me 2 minutes, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. Holy cow. Ugh. Water. I really needed it. So, he finally got his first goal as a Tampa Bay Lightning. Radish still has 4 points, and Hagel, I believe, has 1 point as a Lightning. The Lightning are 0-3 with Brandon Hagel. There's a shorty. Okay. Do I miss Brandon Hagel? Yes. Have I liked Taylor Radish? I really have enjoyed Taylor Radish. I get it's a short sample size, but he has 4 points as a Blackhawk already. 2 goals, 2 assists. 1 assist came in this game. Guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would highly appreciate it. Let's look at the scores around the league, shall we? So it's currently 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks after 2, but shots on net are heavily in favor for the LA Kings, 31-16. And there's another game still going on, and it's the Vegas Golden Knights beating the Nashville Predators 4-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning lost to the Boston Bruins 3-2. Brandon Hagel with a shorthanded goal. The Florida Panthers beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-3. A shootout win for the Dallas Stars 4-3. Total shots on net in that game 15-47 in favor for the Carolina Hurricanes. The goalie for the Stars must have been on his head, even though, yeah, he let in 3 goals, but he faced nearly 50 shots. Haven't whistled in a while. So it was a 5-2 victory for the New York Islanders over the Detroit Red Wings. 5-2 victory for the Ottawa Senators over the Winnipeg Jets. A 5-2 victory for the Philadelphia Flyers over the St. Louis Blues. A 3-2 victory for the Minnesota Wild over the Vancouver Canucks in overtime. And a 5-2 win for the Edmonton Oilers over the San Jose Sharks. A lot of 5-2 victories. How many how many empty netters were those? Probably most of them had the empty net. Empty net, maybe. Empty net. There was multiple games of 5-2 victories. Want to do a call-in? Maybe I can just do the call-in for the intermission. Okay, Zach? There's 9 minutes left in the intermission. I can do a call-in for intermission. Here, let me do a invite to you. Yeah, only in the intermission I will do a call in this period, okay? There you go. You have the link to join the stream. All right. And welcome to the stream, Zach.
Yeah, this is also a face reveal, too.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, let me turn you down. So, what's up?
How are you doing? See, you're wearing the reverse retro.
I'm a bit tired, but other than that, I'm glad I get to watch some Hawks games.
Yeah. It's a late night, but it's fun.
Yeah, I get off at 10, so it's nice that, the game started at 9 today.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So what's your total thoughts on the deadline in total, I guess?
I feel like the Hawks did well at the deadline. They got a lot of draft capital for themselves. Did I hate to see Brandon Hagel go? Yes. But we got quite a bit in return for Hagel. So I feel like I will give Kyle Davidson in his first trade deadline a B.
Yeah, I think Kyle Davidson did really well, especially in the Brandon Hagel trade. I know giving up Brandon Hagel was tough for, the Blackhawks organization and fans.
Yeah.
Because, moving him, a lot of people are like, that's crazy. He's 23 on pace for 50 points, 30 goals. It's just not something you want to do. But the haul that Chicago brought back, it's just what he promised. He said, we're not going to trade Hagel unless it's going to be for a massive overpay.
Yeah.
And I got to respect him for that. I was surprised by seeing Calvin DeHaan and maybe like Henrik Borgstrom still on the team still.
Yeah.
And I think Calvin DeHaan was also still surprised from his interview.
I feel like DeHaan was surprised, but I'm happy DeHaan's still with the Hawks. I like DeHaan. Yes, he's been injured quite a bit in his 3 years with the team, but he's been very solid defensively for us.
Yeah, I think other than Murphy, I think he's been like the second best defensively guy on this season. I would like to say that would be Jake McCabe, but Jake McCabe has underperformed this season.
He's really underperformed.
I really think hopefully it's like a Murphy. I know when I first started watching you, I'm like, you gotta give Murphy a chance, one more chance, and you're like, nah, he's not gonna do good. And then he's slowly improved each next season above.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be hopefully he can also improve his game, and I think he will.
Sometimes defensemen, I've noticed, if they're going to a new team, their first year is always their worst year on the new team, and their next season they find their game because they're trying to figure out a whole new system. Granted, next year probably the team's going to have a brand new system in place because they're going to probably have another new head coach in this team. So they're going to bring in a new system, but I feel like sometimes it's a system thing, and sometimes defensemen take a little bit of time to figure out the system.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and it would be interesting what the Hawks do, especially with the coaching staff. I don't see Mark Crawford staying here. I think I think Kyle Davidson is gonna. I have a feeling King is gonna stick around either back as Rockford's GM or Rockford's head coach or permanent coach. Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna be sticking around. I think the players like him. I know I've thought of the idea. I think it would be like interesting. I know this is probably not gonna happen. It's just my imagination. Is the Hawks give him like a front office job, like director of player development or like director of player personnel, someone who can communicate with the players, help the players grow on the ice. Yeah. And I know their current one's Brian Campbell is their director of player personnel, and I know he's probably gonna be promoted to a higher up role, so that kind of leaves like an opening.
I was honestly surprised not to see Brian Campbell get the named assistant GM'd on the team, just because apparently him and Davidson work well together.
I think that will happen over the offseason. I think you're still gonna see a lot of guys move. Like you just saw like the scouting department, Mark Kelly. I still think there's gonna be a lot of people moving in and out. And I think Brian Campbell's gonna end up with the assistant GM role.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy though how the Canadian media is gonna take that, because they're gonna link Brian Campbell to like the 2010 team, and they've been relentless.
But you gotta put into place. I really don't think the players knew what happened back in 2010.
Yeah.
And some of the players who were on the 2010 team really had not been really things to think about. Apparently, a lot of players don't really communicate much with the Black Aces on the teams during the playoff run, because the Black Aces don't get much action. They're usually on the ice after the main rosters left the ice, and that's what happens. And you really don't see much happening with the Black Aces compared to the main roster.
Yeah, I just hate how Kane and Taze are getting so much crap for what
Yes.
happened. It was a management failure. It's a coaching failure. It's everything above. The players should not be. It's not the player's job to report Brad Aldrich to the police. That's a front office job.
Yeah.
And I ultimately think that the number one person to blame, I don't think it's Bowman. I think it's McDonough. This is a McDonough thing. And I know Bowman's involved, but I think McDonough was the one who was like, let's sweep this under the rug.
I think it was the mix of Bowman, Q, and McDonough was what led to it not getting up higher to like Rocky, and then it led to this whole entire cover up.
Yeah, I just feel I don't feel for McDonough, but I knew once Bowman resigned, I knew he's gonna blame McDonough because that's I guess the punching bag right now. He's out of the organization for a while, so why not blame him? But you see this happen all the time with like the Kane sexual assaults. He started that press conference and defended him, and then against a bunch of Kane allegations. I won't go into like the other ones, but I know it's just a McDonough thing that he's done.
McDonough won't ever have a job in professional sports again, nor will Stan Bowman, though.
Yeah, I think McDonough, he's an amazing genius. I'll give him that. His business, his marketing strategy transformed the Hawks into where they are. The Hawks wouldn't be there without him.
He was a business mind.
Yeah. Like, he got that deal done with, I think it was, he got Blackhawks games televised again.
Yeah, he was
a big part of that.
What got the Hawks on TV, so it led to a whole lot more where the Hawks were able to be on TV. It's also, he was the main reason the Hawks were able to play in all those outdoor games they were in. But otherwise, what he did, though, was just BS.
Yeah. I think McDonough's going to go down as just like this bad hockey op. But I just can't look past of what he did to like the Chicago organization. He basically changed the organization in a good way and a bad way, I guess. But
he's pretty much the black guy on the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. Well, I guess the third period just about to start. Thank you for having me on. I thought it was fun.
Thanks for coming by.
Glad I got to have a face reveal for the first time.
Yeah.
So, thank you. I'll watch your video still. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming. All right. Hawks are setting up. Oh, that's a DeBrincat goal. Let me do 1 second, guys. Need better lighting. It was starting to get too dark in here. All right. Here we go again. Caleb Jones with the puck. It's 19:54 remaining in regulation time. It's 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks over the LA Kings. But shots on net, 31-16 in favor for the LA Kings. So this game has been a rough game by the Hawks by being on their heels a lot. But now we're back on the attack. It's Steph Jones setting up and a Hawk firing it wide, and the Hawks have to now play defense. It's Eric Gustafson with the puck. Gustafson goes over for DeBrincat. DeBrincat now with it. DeBrincat going into the neutral zone, taking it into the offensive zone, dumping it down. The Kings now come up with it and set up. It's Patrick Kane trying to get that loose puck, and the Kings now on the attack. It's Kempe. Kempe going down. Kempe going over to Iafallo. And he shoots it wide. Kempe behind the net. Kopitar gets it down to Iafallo. Iafallo loses control, and it's former Blackhawk Oli Mata with the puck. Mata now with it. Sets up the Kings, and Mata now goes in. It's Troy Stetcher. Stetcher going up and dumping around the ice. Kempe with it. Kempe loses control, and the Hawks try to go on the attack. Mata loses it, and it's now Taylor Radish cutting it, and a penalty coming, and it's a power play to your Chicago Blackhawks. Taylor Radish has been a sneaky good pick by Kyle Davidson at the deadline, picking him up. Like, he wasn't utilized much at all in Tampa Bay. Radish has looked good in a hockey uniform. Is it because he's on a new team now, knowing that he has an opportunity to play more and get a chance to play on the top two lines? Maybe that's a part of it, but he's having a chance and he's using it. Kane with it. Kane sets up the power play. Going over for Jones. Jones on the blue line. Back to Kane. Kane looking. Kane sets it up to Jones. Fires! And it goes wide. And that goes all the way back down to the Hawks' new defensive zone. Steph Jones with it. Jones taking it into the center ice. Taking it into the offensive zone. Cutting in. Loses control to Kempe. Hawks now with it. Kane losing it. And Philip Deneau tried to get it. Kempe trying to break through with a shorthanded shot, and it goes wide. It's now Steph Jones leaves it for Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat goes over to Kane. 1:16 remaining on the power play. Patrick Kane dumping it into the offensive zone. Kane gets it over for DeBrincat, goes in. Strome on his knees trying to play it to Radish. It's now Iafallo cutting in. Radish, Iafallo getting checked by Steph Jones. Radish checking Iafallo now to the boards. Iafallo getting the puck over to Kopitar. Kopitar behind Delia. Kopitar gets it up the ice, and that's going to kill more time because the Kings can play some keep away. Kopitar sets up the Kings blue liners, and they dump it down. It's now Colin Delia. Colin Delia sends the puck for Eric Gustafson. Gustafson gets it up to Kershaw at center ice. Kershaw tried to leave it for Kirby Dach. It just bounced on Dach's stick, and Dach with 25 seconds remaining on the power play for Taze. Taze in the defensive zone. Taking it in is Gustafson. Gustafson in neutral zone for Taze. Taze dumping it into the offensive zone. Taze on the board battle. Gets it for Kershaw. Kershaw loses the puck, and the puck bounces, and now it's a 2-on-1 attack for the Kings. And a big glove save by Delia. Kings still with control. It's power play is over now. Kirby Dach now with the puck. Dach gets tried to send Khrushchev, but the Kings were there defensively. Radish has been really good. Potential was limited bottom six, and like Strome. Yeah, I agree. I feel like he had the same issue Strome had with Arizona. Strome was not developed well in Arizona because Arizona is a joke of a franchise and they don't know what to do about prospects. Radish, on the other hand, the Lightning just had way too much up on top where it made it hard for Radish to crack a roster spot. So Tampa had a little bit of a different way of having to develop and give Radish an opportunity. So I can understand the Tampa issue for Radish. But on the Hawks, he has a chance to play on the top two lines because the Hawks' depth is pretty weak otherwise, if you don't count from the Strome now with it. Strome cutting in, looking for an opening. Strome now in the slot to Kane! And a save by Quick. Kane with it. Kane getting checked by Stetcher. The Kings now with his Oli Mata. Mata at center ice for Philip Deneau. Deneau sending it over, and DeBrincat steals it. Kane almost had it from DeBrincat. Kane now in the offensive zone, looking over. Kane tried to do a shoot pass for a rebound, and now Trevor Moore sends the Kings in. the Kings shoot it, and the Hawks now in the defensive zone is Hendrik Borgstrom for Calvin DeHaan. Calvin DeHaan in the defensive zone for Jonathan Toews. Toews taking it into the neutral zone, taking it past center ice, up the offensive zone. Taylor Radish was there, couldn't get to the puck though. Kings now with it, and the Hawks, Calvin DeHaan with the shot, and it was blocked in front of the net. Taylor Radish keeps the play going. It's now Toews. Toews looking. Toews cutting back and leaves it for Radish. Radish gets it back for Toews. Toews couldn't get it cleanly, and it's now Gonze Kopitar. Kopitar sends it to Stetcher, and the Kings set up. Kings in their defensive zone looking for an outlet. It's shots 32-18 in favor for the Kings. 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks lead with 14-14 remaining in regulation time. Eric Gustafsson in the defensive zone with the puck, losing control over for Doc. Doc sending it for Lafferty. Lafferty on the race to try and get to the puck. Doesn't work out well. Kings now with it to go on the attack again. It's Riley Stillman with the puck. Stillman sends the puck down the ice, and that's going to be enough for an icing. Or Jonathan Quick plays it, so no icing. 13:45 remaining in regulation time. It's 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks. A lot of back and forth hockey in this period. It's now Hawks trying to send the puck down, and Arvidsson whiffs on a shot. Arvidsson keeps control. He shoots it onto the pads of Delia, and the Hawks try to clear it out. Kings keep the press on, and Kachuk battling for the puck. Kachuk going on the race, 2-on-1. Kachuk with Reese Johnson, and he couldn't get it. Johnson with it. Johnson sending the puck over to the blue line, and it's Mackenzie and Whistle to Johnson. Fires, and a save by Quick, and Kachuk couldn't get to the puck in time. But it's Caleb Jones over for Jake McCabe. Back to Entwistle. Entwistle setting up. Over for Kachuk. Kachuk over to Entwistle. Entwistle looking. Entwistle on the blue line. Over to Caleb Jones. Is Strom. Strom cutting in. Fires, and a blocker save by Jonathan Quick. Alex DeBrincat with the puck. It's now in center ice. Cat cutting in and dumping it into the offensive zone. Kings now with the press. Kings looking to go on the opposite attack. It's now Iafallo. Iafallo with the puck at center ice. Gets it up to Kopitar battling on the boards. And the Hawks clear it down the ice. Yes, Zach, my leg is 100% healed now. I'm actually back to playing some hockey again. Yeah, Nylander was not, just his effort was not there. DeBrincat tries to get it over to Gustafsson, who shoots it, and Toews tries to shove it through the pads of Quick, and Quick stones it. It's shots 21-33 in favor for the Kings. A lot more pressure this period by your Chicago Blackhawks. Jonathan Quick has been solid this period because the Hawks have come out with an attack. Yeah, Zach. So my leg is actually healed now. I'm back to normal. I can play hockey again, which is great. So it's not broken anymore. Yes, it has a rod and like 18 screws in it, but I can manage. Alex, I'm not that good at center. Yeah, Kachuk's really been good. From what I've seen on Kachuk, yeah, he's going to be more a bottom six player, but he's useful. He has some grit to his game, and he's willing to go into the battles. And I like Kachuk's play. You're an amazing center, Zach. Okay. Jonathan Toews at the dot, winning the faceoff back over to Caleb Jones in the offensive zone, looking for an opening, and Jake McCabe with the shot that goes wide. Now the Kings now with the puck, setting up in their defensive zone. Kings going to up the ice is now on the attack. The Kings now going in. Kings in the center ice, taking it down the ice. Now Jake McCabe in the defensive zone getting checked. Toews trying to get the puck out. 11:25 remaining in the period. Hawks, Jake McCabe over to Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones sending the puck up to Jonathan Toews. No, that was Taylor Radish. I'm sorry. I understand what you mean there. Arvidsson with a shot, and God! It's tied. Philip Deneau at the doorstep ties the game right back. It's 3-3. 10:53 remaining in regulation time. We're tied at 3 apiece. Philip Deneau with his second of the night. When did Philip Deneau become a offensive player? Like, what happened? I swear Deneau was supposed to be just like a defensive forward. Where did this offense come from, Deneau? Steph Jones dumping the puck up, and the Kings gain control. The Kings now with the press. Kings now sending the puck down the ice. It's now Riley Stillman keeping the Hawks on the attack. Sam Lafferty getting checked, and the Hawks Lafferty going in, and Kurashev almost batted it out of the air. It's now Stillman over to Gustafson. Gustafson breaking down over for Doc on the backboards getting checked, and the Kings clear it out. That could be a penalty. It's not going to be. Shots on net 37-21 in favor for the LA Kings. Yeah, Deneau's having a revenge game. Dylan Strome at the dot loses the faceoff to Anze Kopitar, who Kopitar has a 7-9 win at the faceoff dot tonight. And that was icing. 10:14 remaining in regulation time, tied 3-3. Okay, Strome. Strome loses a faceoff again, and the Kings keep the press on. That's going to go down far enough for icing, and it was waved off. It's Steph Jones playing the puck at center ice. Is DeBrincat, leaves it for DeHaan, who sets up the Hawks in their defensive zone. DeHaan gets it to DeBrincat. DeBrincat going back to DeHaan. DeHaan going over for Jones, up for Kane. That didn't work out, and it goes all the way down the ice. DeBrincat tried to get there in time. Kings keep the control, and it's Oli Mata. Oli Mata clearing the puck down the ice, and that's going to be an icing. It's 3-3 after with 10 minutes gone, 9:31 remaining. Philip Deneau just tying it a minute ago. Shots on net 36-21 in favor for the Kings. I have follow with the puck over to Kopitar. Kopitar gets it across the ice for Mata. Mata cutting in, dumping it down. It's now Caleb Jones settling things down for the Hawks. Caleb Jones taking it up the ice for Jonathan Toews. Jonathan Toews sends the puck into the offensive zone. And that gets cleared down the ice. It's now McCabe. McCabe getting checked by Kopitar. McCabe keeps control, sends it over for Borgstrom. Borgstrom getting checked, and the Hawks get it back down. It's now Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones sending the puck up the ice. I do not like the helmets. They're better than the chrome gold helmets that Vegas wears, but chrome helmets just don't work in hockey, in my opinion. Chrome in general is just not. I'm not a fan of chrome. Kachuk battling for that puck in the offensive zone, and the Kings come out with it. The Kings taking it up the ice, taking it through center ice, and now it's a battle with the Hawks. The Hawks, Eric Gustafson lays a check, and Hawks now, Riley Stillman tries to clear it out. Kings keep the press on. Hawks battling behind the net with the Kings. The Kings send it up the ice and setting it up on their blue line. It's now Kachuk. Kachuk couldn't get it over to Gustafson. Gustafson now with it. Gustafson goes over to Entwistle. Entwistle taking it up the ice over to center ice, dumping it into the offensive zone. Kopitar gets it, and the Kings set it up and send it down the ice. It's not far enough for icing. Steph Jones plays it and tries to clear it down the ice. Oli Mata now with it. Oli Mata sends the puck down, and Mata loses control. Mata in his defensive zone, battling against Alex DeBrincat. Gets it to Kopitar. Kopitar sends the puck up the ice over to Kempe. Kempe getting checked by DeHaan. Kempe beats a check. Kempe gets it back, and a save by Delia. Yeah, chrome visors are cool, but chrome helmets, that's a no-go. Chrome helmets, in my opinion, just should not be a thing. They're too minor league, in my opinion. Even though you don't really even see chrome helmets in the minors either. Oh, yeah, there are some chrome helmets in the European leagues. But they just seem more like a gimmick type thing that you will see in the minors, if you think about where I'm coming from. I just hope that doesn't lead to the jerseys getting that bad. I know the ads are coming next year, which I do not like the idea of seeing an advertisement on a Hawks jersey. I don't like the idea of an advertisement on a jersey in general. I can understand like minor leagues and European leagues because that's what helps their team stay afloat. But I don't like the idea of that coming to the NHL. Like frickin' the Blue Jackets just released their jersey advertisement, and the Kings almost had an opportunity there. Dylan Strome now with it over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat tried to send it across the ice for Tays, but the Kings keep the press on. It's Olimata. Olimata loses control at center ice, and it goes down all the way for Calvin Donanas to get there. The Hawks get back. It's now Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat taking up the ice over for Steph Jones. Jones at neutral and the center ice for Kane. Kane tries to get it to DeBrincat, and it was at his feet. Now the Kings go back on the attack. It's Olimata. Olimata with it at center ice, dumping it down. Colin Delia plays it, and Jake McCabe sends it up the ice for Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane sends it down. It's Philip Kurashev with some speed, loses control. It's Anze Kopitar. Kopitar sends it across the ice for the Kings to set up in their defensive zone. Shots on net 38-21 in favor for the Kings, 3-3 game. It's Kurashev. Kurashev now with it over for Caleb Jones. Hawks cutting in. Jones around. Wraps it around and couldn't bury it past quick. Kings keep the control now. Kings in their defensive zone looking for an opportunity. Kings set up now for some changes. They send it off the boards, and the Hawks now have it at neutral ice. It's Steph Jones. Jones gets it to Tays, who loses control. LA now on the attack. LA cutting in, looking across, and a save by Delia. Hawks now trying to get out of the defensive zone, which they've been in it a lot tonight. It's Taylor Radish loses control to Byfield. Byfield coming in. Byfield looking and battling against Steph Jones. The Kings looking across and tried to shoot it and throws it off. And the Hawks have to try and battle defensively. Steph Jones battling behind Colin Delia. And now the Hawks now have it. Kachuk almost turned it over. And the Hawks now clear it down the ice for some changes. Shot differentials 20 more shots in favor for the Kings. Arvidsson sets up, and Delia on his back in. The Hawks come out lucky. Arvidsson behind the net sets up the Kings. Kings trying to set up Philip Deneau for that one, and Caleb Jones and Deneau are battling to get into a fight here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of jersey ads. Good block by Caleb Jones that they showed. It's in commercial now. Come on, Hawks. .423 remaining in regulation time. It's 3-3 game. Philip Deneau with 2 goals that have tied this game both times. It was to start the scoring off in the first period. It was Patrick Kane at 16:44. Then at 2 minutes and 13 seconds with a shorthanded goal, Trevor Moore scored his 13th of the season. Then at 12:41 in the second period, Alex DeBrincat got the lead right back for the Hawks by a great assist from Dylan Strome. And then 4 minutes later at 16:50, Philip Deneau tied the game to a piece with his 20th of the season, first of the night. It's on a power play goal. Then Sam Lafferty 2 minutes later at 18:09 gets the lead for the Hawks to make a 3-2 game. And then Philip Deneau at 9:07 in this period has tied the game. Ben Pope tweeted, which I thought was funny, that Caleb Jones always smiles while fighting someone. Yeah, I've noticed that. I guess he loves punching people in the face. Jonathan Toews versus Anze Kopitar. Toews wins the face-off. It's a 50-50 puck, though. Kane comes out with it. Kane with it. Kane taking it up the ice, in center ice, dumping it into the offensive zone, where Jonathan Quick plays the puck, almost loses it to Alex DeBrincat. It's now Kopitar. Kopitar taking it up the ice, over for Iafallo. Iafallo fires in a save by Delia. It's now Strome. Strome settles things down. Over to Jones. Jones sends the puck up the ice. Over for DeBrincat. DeBrincat fires! And a save by Quick. Iafallo now with it. Iafallo over to Kopitar. Kopitar got shooting on the blocker of Delia, and Strome trying to get it out. Alex DeBrincat over to Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane in neutral ice. Dumps him, chase, and the Hawks make a change. With 3:28 remaining in regulation time, it's 3-3. It's a 3-3 game. Shots on net 44-23 in favor for the LA Kings. LA dumping the puck down. McCabe now with it. McCabe in his defensive zone getting checked, where Caleb Jones comes out with it. Caleb Jones dumping the puck and to the offensive zone. Over for Lafferty. Lafferty on the boards getting checked for that puck, and the Hawks come out with it. Kirby Dach can't get there. It's now Quinton Byfield. Byfield jumping the puck up the ice, and the Hawks now with it. Over for Riley Stillman. Stillman with it. Stillman in the defensive zone with 2:45 remaining in regulation time. 3-3 game. Here we go. Stillman with it. Over to Steph Jones sending the puck down the ice. That might be an icing. No, it's not. The Kings come in and go on the attack. Hawks have to get back in time. It's now the Kings going in. It's cutting. Looking for Arvidsson with the shot, and it goes wide. It's Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore looking for Philip Deneau. Deneau has 2 goals in this game. Kings setting up is Arvidsson. Arvidsson going for Trevor Moore. Moore loses it. Hawks get it out. Hawks trying to get it out at least, and they successfully do. That was cleared, but the Kings now go back in. It's Arvidsson. Arvidsson going up for Kopitar. Hawks Alex DeBrincat going over for Steph Jones. Jones gets it up to Strome. Strome doesn't get a good handle, and the Kings come out with it. It's Oli Mata. Oli Mata sending the puck, and the Kings dumping it in. It's now Jake McCabe. McCabe looking. McCabe gets it over for Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome dumping it out. Kings now with his Kempe, and that was offside. 1:32 remaining in regulation time. DeBrincat almost had a good chance. Okay, Kirby Dach loses a faceoff right to Anze Kopitar, and the Kings go on the attack. The Kings in the Hawks defensive zone. Caleb Jones comes out with it. Caleb Jones in the defensive zone, dumping it into the neutral zone. And that went off the boards and out of play. 1:20 remaining in regulation time. 3-3 game. Shots on net 44-23 in favor for the Kings. Here we go. Trevor Moore at the dot versus Jonathan Toews. No, that's Philip Deneau that was taking the faceoff, actually. Here we go. Hawks come out with his Jonathan Toews, sending up the ice for Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach in the offensive zone for Toews. Toews looking, fires, and a save by Quick. Sam Lafferty at the door, and Toews battling for it. It's a loose puck, and a save by Quick, and the puck came loose, and now there's a scrum again up front of the net. Sam Lafferty battling against Philip Deneau. Hawks had a good opportunity there. Couldn't bury it. 1:01 remaining in regulation time. It's 3-3 Chicago Blackhawks. That was a great pass by Kirby Doc that led to that chance from Taze and Lafferty. All right. If you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will highly appreciate it. Dylan Strome at the faceoff dot versus Anze Kopitar. Kopitar's been killing Strome at the dot tonight. Strome wins it cleanly. Over for Dahan. Dahan tries to shoot it, and it's Strome. Strome loses it. 53 seconds remaining. It's Jones dumping it down, and Jonathan Quick plays the puck. The Kings now with it. It's Kempe. Kempe dumping it in to the neutral zone. It's Kane in the defensive zone for Jones. Jones dumping it into the offensive zone. 33 seconds remaining in regulation time. Kings with control. The Kings send the puck up the ice for Danault. Danault looking for a hat trick. Danault dumping it down the ice, and the Hawks now with his Jonathan Toews with 20 seconds remaining in the regulation. Toews sends the puck down the ice, and that's going to be for an icing. 15 seconds remaining in regulation time. Yes, Dominic Kubalik was a scratch tonight. Yeah. This game has been very aggressive between the two teams. All right. Come on, Taser. Taze versus Kopitar, and Taze loses the faceoff. Kings set up, and a save by Delia. Delia had to set up on the board. Taze sends it. Taze for Radish. Radish shoots it down the ice, and that's going to be it for regulation. We go to overtime. So we're going to an overtime. Hey, Golf King, how are you doing? Wonder how Derek King is going to screw this overtime setup up. I get it. We've won quite a bit of overtime games, but I hate how he starts the overtimes. Put a center out there. Put Jonathan Toews out to start this period of this overtime, please. Toews has been winning the draws. Wait, Borkstrom out there? Please don't do something stupid, King. They were showing Borkstrom. That's why I was like, wait, no, not please. Don't put Borkstrom. Yeah, I saw the Flyers won today. If you're just coming by the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will highly appreciate it. All right, Alex DeBrincat out there taking the face off. Of course, Derek King not putting a center out there. Oh, I hate you, Derek King, for overtime. Here we go. It's overtime. DeBrincat versus Kopitar. Cat wins the 50-50 puck. Cat taking it in. DeBrincat going into the offensive zone, setting up Patrick Kane. Kane looking, goes in. Kane in the offensive zone looking for an opening to set up Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat on the blue line for the Hawks. Cat goes into the neutral zone, sets up the Hawks to go into an outlet. It's now Steph Jones. Jones into the offensive zone, cutting in, fires in a save by Quick. Kane now with it. Kane sets up. Kane goes into the neutral zone. Over to Steph Jones. Jones now comes out for the line changes of the Hawks. Jones sets up. Jones sends it over to Lafferty. Lafferty going in. Lafferty cuts through around their net. Sends it up and sets up on the blue line. Lafferty goes over to Eric Gustafson. Gustafson sends it over for Doc. Doc taking it in. Doc in neutral ice over to Gustafson. Gustafson leaves it. Sets up. Goes around quick. Gustafson loses the puck but keeps the control. Gustafson settles things down in the neutral ice. Over for Sam Lafferty. Lafferty taking time to go in. Now it's Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach taking that up. Over to Gustafson. The Hawks setting up for another line change. Is Gustafson with Taze coming out. And Taze sets up in his defensive zone. Taking it up with Taylor Radish. Taze taking it through. Taze going in. Taze setting up. Taze going into the offensive zone behind Jonathan Quick. Taze loses control, but Taylor Radish gains it. It's Steph Jones having to get back. Steph Jones comes up with control. Steph Jones now with it. Jones going in. Jones taking it his time over to Kane. Kane looking for Jones and a save by Quick. Kane almost buried. Jones almost buried one for the Hawks. Now the Kings now have the attack. Arvidsson sends the puck up the ice. Arvidsson gets it over for the Kings to go in. It's Trevor Moore with a shot that goes wide. Alex DeBrincat can't get there, but now it's Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane at center ice over to Steph Jones. Jones taking it in. Jones looking. Jones behind Quick. Jones falling, and the Hawks have to get back in time for defense. Kings now on a chance. It's the Kings looking in. Kings setting up in the Hawks defensive zone. And a save by Delia from a shot from Iafallo. DeBrincat now with it. Over to Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane at center ice, so setting up for a line change. Kane sends it into the defensive zone with Eric Gustafson. 2 minutes remaining in the overtime. Hawks now with it. It's Kirby Dach. It's Dylan Strome. I'm sorry. Dylan Strome taking it up the ice. Dylan Strome in the offensive zone now. Strome looking. Strome goes over to Gustafson. Gustafson back to Strome. Strome sets up for Doc. Doc looking. Doc seeking a little bit into the neutral ice. Doc sends it into the defensive zone. Over to Gustafson, who sends Doc. Kirby Dach going into the offensive zone against Kopitar. Doc dekes a little bit on Kopitar to Strome. Fires, and it goes high and wide. Now the Kings Kempe going down the ice. Kempe looking. Kempe deking. Kempe almost beat Caleb Jones. Kempe sets up in the neutral zone. Kempe now looking. Kempe taking it into the offensive zone for the Kings. Deneau with the shot and a save by Delia. Patrick Kane now out there. The Hawks on the defense. Delia with another save, and Strome just lets Delia freeze the puck. Lafferty's no bum. He's actually good. Yeah, Radish has played well. I really liked Radish's game. Okay, here we go. Defensive zone faceoff. Jonathan Taze versus Philip Deneau. Taze wins the faceoff. Steph Jones sets up. Steph Jones getting checked by Deneau. Deneau wins the 50-50 puck. It's now Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore looking. Moore looking over. The Kings looking now. Sends it, and it's blocked by Jones. Now Taze on it. Taze taking it up. Loses control in center ice, but he keeps it over for Kane. Kane dekes in. Fires, and a save by Quick. Kane sets up. Kane getting checked by the Kings. And it's now Trevor Moore going down the ice. 41 seconds remaining in the overtime. Kings can't have the control, and it's back with them. It's Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore looking against the Hawks. Moore leaves it, and there was too many men. Too many men. Or was it offside? "27 seconds remaining in the overtime, and I'm thinking the Kings might be getting called for too many men. They are. The Kings are getting called for too many men on ice. The Hawks should be going to a power play. Power play to the Chicago Blackhawks in overtime. Power play to the Hawks with 27 seconds remaining in overtime. Hawks set up now. Here we go. It's a 4-on-3 power play with 27 seconds remain. Strome, Kane, DeBrincat, and Jones, as my guess, will be out. Okay, here we go. Kopitar out there for the Kings to take the face-off. Dylan Strome out for the Hawks for this face-off. So it's Kane, Strome, DeBrincat, and Jones. Come on, Strome. Strome loses the face-off, but DeBrincat almost came out with it. That gets cleared down the ice. Hawks still have 20 seconds remaining. Jones with it. Jones take the puck up then to neutral zone. Jones passes center ice over for Kane. Kane in the offensive zone. 9 seconds to DeBrincat. Fires in a block by the Kings. 5 seconds remaining. Kopitar taking it in, and he shoots it high, and that's going to kill it, and we go to a shootout. I hate shootouts, and I don't know how Delia is in a shootout. Shootouts are stupid if you ask me. So we go to the shootout now. And Delia I believe this might be Delia's first time in a shootout, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot remember if he's taken a shootout with the Hawks. He's done them in Rockford. I wonder if they put Radish out there. That would be an interesting move. Don't say that. That means we still have to win. The belt doesn't get given out if they don't win. All right, here we go. It's the shootout time. Who goes out first? It should be Jonathan Toews for the Hawks, but the Kings did choose to go shoot first. It's Kempe. All right, Kempe now with it. Come on, Delia. No. And he shoots it wide. No goal by Kempe. Here we go. It's time for should be number 19. Jonathan Toews. All right, here we go. Jonathan Toews for the shootout. Come on, Taser. Take it up. Come on, Toews. Deaking. And a save by Quick. Remains 0-0 in the shootout. That was a good chance by Toews. He usually goes 5-hole in those. I wonder what led to him trying to shoot high. All right, who's shooting for the Kings? All right, no. Oh, wait, what? What just happened? A little bit. It's Velarde going for the Kings, but something just happened. What happened? Taze actually is good at the shootout. Hey, Rock. Come on, Deals. Come on, Delia. No, 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 no. Yes! Nice pulp check by Delia. All right, here we go again. Should be number 88, Patrick Kane. That was a great pulp check by Delia on Velarde. Come on, Kaner. Kane going in with speed going in wide. Now slowing up. Deking, looking, and a save by Quick. Oh, come on, Kane. Why is Kane so bad at the shootout now? All right. Who's shooting for the Kings? The Kings have a chance here. It's Trevor Moore. No. Yes! He shoots it wide. It remains 0-0. And who's has the chance for the win? If the Hawks score here, the game is over. And the Hawks have won the game. It's Alex Sabrinket with the puck. Cat going in slow. Cat deking, looking. Deeks! Hawks win! Hawks win in the shootout by the Cat! Yes! There we go! The Cat buries it, and the Hawks get the victory in the shootout! Yes! The Cat deked Quick down, and the Hawks won it in the shootout. Hang on. Let's give it to him. Happy Delia today. We got a happy Delia, guys. This is the first time this season a happy Delia. If you just joined the stream this late, make sure to leave the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I highly appreciate it. Colin Delia gets the win in his home ice. Big victory for Deals. Let's go. It appears Delia is going to be taking the interview. I can't go live for the next game on this Saturday as I actually have class, but I do plan on going live for Monday's game against the Sabres. So, a big victory for your Chicago Blackhawks and a big win for this smiling guy. That was a big victory for the Hawks. A win streak is on, and now we go into Vegas on Saturday. I will still watch the game, don't worry. You might go to the Sabre game, really. No, it's a aviation school class. So I actually have college. I'm a college student. You're going to the game Monday? Cool. Hope you have fun at the game. Make sure to, if you're just joining the stream, make sure to leave the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will highly appreciate it. And this guy is a happy human today. That should be a fun game to go see the Hawks, and it should be this. Isn't that the Sabres on Monday? So yeah, it is versus the Sabres Monday. Kane versus his hometown team. I agree. Toronto should not wear black, but the jersey itself looked like a good fashion jersey. That was it. It looked like a black ice jersey. This was a big win by the Hawks in a shootout over the LA Kings, and this guy gets his first win of the season, being very much a happy human today. Up. It looks like Delia's dad standing beside the bench. Delia deserves the belt tonight. This was a fun game, guys. A very fun game. You know what? I will have a review for tonight's game, and I will end up posting the review on in the morning because I don't want it going up at 1:45 in the morning tonight. So when I wake up in the morning, the review will go up on this channel around, let's push 8 p.m. Central Time, and we'll have the channel have the review from tonight's game go up, so we have it. I have an extra ticket. My friend can't come with me if you want to get up. Unfortunately, I can't make it to the game. I would love to, but unfortunately, I can't. Sean. Yeah, Zach, that happens. It's all right. People can be salty, just like Kyle Dubas is salty at Kyle Davidson. We know Dubas is a salty man, but this man's a happy human today. Colin Delia. He deserved this win, and he deserves to get the belt tonight. So, guys, the Raquel trade to the Pins was a very interesting one. I would have thought the Ducks could have got more for him. Toronto fans can be very polarizing, just like Will Arnett was the other night, because we know he's a Toronto fan. So, guys, I want to say thank you for coming to the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're just coming by the stream. I will have the review up for tomorrow's action, for tonight's action in the morning. And I want to say, something leaked between a potential of trade talk that was happening for Marc-Andre Fleury could have gone to the Maple Leafs, but something leaked and Dubas got salty about it, and was salty to the media about it. Hey, KK. So, guys, I want to say thank you again. It's been a long night. The Hawks got the victory, and we should always end these things off with thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks!